The challenges encountered by American restaurant chains in the current year encompass economic instability, labor pressures, and shifts in consumer habits. Several esteemed companies grappled with escalating borrowing costs and fierce competition, resulting in startling bankruptcies throughout the year. This video reflects on the notable bankruptcies of 2023, including the latest filings that have sent shockwaves through the market. Industry experts caution that numerous other companies are teetering on the edge, predicting a more significant wave of distressed companies in 2024. Here are the 15 most significant restaurant chain bankruptcies of 2023. But before we begin, please make sure to subscribe to the Financial Scoop and leave us a like below this video. Burger King. Burger King faced an unprecedented number of bankruptcies in the first half of 2023. Two major operators and a smaller franchisee filed for Chapter 11 protection, citing rising debt and diminishing revenues. Meridian Restaurants, Tom's King, and Restaurant Brand International executed store closures as part of their restructuring plans. Over 400 Burger King restaurants have already ceased operations, with more closures anticipated in the coming months. Premier Kings, another major franchisee, recently filed for bankruptcy, risking the closure of 172 Burger King units. McDonald's. Despite being the most popular restaurant chain in the U.S., McDonald's faced significant financial challenges. Franchise disputes intensified, revealing that operators were compelled to purchase overpriced supplies and fund tech innovations and restaurant renovations, squeezing profits. A group of operators estimated that 30% of McDonald's franchises are insolvent, with some filing for Chapter 11. Rice Enterprises, a Pittsburgh-based operator, filed for bankruptcy amid a lawsuit for negligence, further impacting McDonald's financial landscape. Dan's. On October 31st, Dan's franchisee Dan Ohio filed for bankruptcy due to a series of economic challenges related to the COVID-19 outbreak and ongoing negative conditions in the restaurant industry. Increased labor, food, and delivery costs, coupled with mandatory restaurant renovations, led to a negative net operating income. The company, with receipts of $17.6 million, reported a net business income of negative $1.3 million. Carl's Jr. Summit Restaurant Holdings SR. Summit Restaurant Holdings SR, one of the largest Carl's Jr. operators, filed for bankruptcy, resulting in the closure of dozens of restaurants nationwide. The decision was attributed to a sharp decline in revenue, decreased customer traffic, rental obligations, debt, and other liabilities. Cash flow issues affected other brands operated by Summit Holdings, contributing to their financial challenges. Hardee's, sister chain of Carl's Jr., operated by Sir. Sir's bankruptcy also impacted Carl's Jr.'s sister chain Hardee's, leading to the closure of 39 restaurants. Approximately 145 Hardee's locations are expected to be sold to a well-capitalized buyer. Despite the parent company's announcement in May, a deal has not been finalized. Hardee's faced a decline in sales and struggled throughout 2023, making it less attractive to potential investors. Corner Bakery. Once regarded as the next painter of bread, Corner Bakery, a fast casual bakery cafe chain, faced challenges in attracting new customers. With over 300 restaurants at its peak, the chain has been declining since 2017, accelerated by the impact of COVID-19. Seeking Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection in March, Corner Bakery aimed to thwart creditors' attempts to take control. The chain, which closed 75 locations in the past 8 months, has accumulated $33.8 million in debt with a net income of approximately $1.8 million. Prior to filing for bankruptcy, Corner Bakery had defaulted on its loans, citing low cash flow and funding issues over the past 5 years. The company witnessed a gradual closure of nearly 50% of its locations, with only 103 stores remaining across 16 U.S. states. Popeyes. During the spring, a Popeyes franchisee under the umbrella of Restaurant Business Holdings declared bankruptcy and announced several closures. The company's owner, Manraj Sidhu, who passed away in 2021, was not only the sole member but also the sole manager. This unfortunate loss, combined with various macroeconomic factors, created significant uncertainty and disruption. Court documents from the bankruptcy filing revealed the operator's deteriorating financial situation due to inflation, elevated borrowing rates, and a constrained qualified labor force. In an effort to prevent additional losses and stabilize the business, dozens of stores in Alabama and Tennessee were closed. Backyard Burgers. Fast casual Better Burger chain Backyard Burgers filed for Chapter 11 in July, marking its second such filing in a decade. Over the past 3 years, the company aggressively reduced its store count from nearly 200 to just 35, impacting its ability to compete with brands like Five Guys, Shake Shack, and Habit Burger. System-wide sales declined by 8.3% compared to the previous year, and debt surged to $10.9 million in 2023. Without a substantial investment and a business overhaul, Backyard Burgers faces the possibility of not surviving another year in the market. Wildwing Cafe. In July, Wildwing Cafe filed for bankruptcy, attributing the impact of the pandemic and an inability to restructure a $12.5 million loan. The North Carolina-based chain closed half of its locations in 2023 as part of a revitalization effort, appointing Mark Catt as CEO and bringing industry advisor Craig Miller on board. Court documents cited mandated store closures, management turnover, historic inflation, supply chain constraints, and a tight labor market as significant obstacles. Despite these efforts, signs of improvement were not evident, with sales in Q3 declining by 14% compared to the same period the previous year. Cozy embarked on a perplexing bankruptcy journey in recent years. Initially filing for bankruptcy in February 2020, the restaurant chain withdrew its filing, seeking pandemic aid instead. However, in the summer of 2022, Cozy again pursued Chapter 11 bankruptcy, which was approved on January 23, 2023. Facing falling sales and escalating expenses, Cozy's financial challenges became insurmountable. After debt renegotiations with lenders in the first quarter, the fast casual brand is emerging from bankruptcy, albeit with a store count approximately 15% smaller than before the filing. Ryan. The decision to file for bankruptcy and subsequently liquidate the business was beyond the control of franchisees running Ryan. Owned by the holding company Fresh Acquisitions, which had a history of mismanagement and anti-franchisee policies, Fresh Acquisitions filed for bankruptcy in the spring of 2022. Unable to reach an agreement with lenders, the business was dissolved in March 2023, sealing the fate of this beloved buffet chain. Old Country Buffet. Another buffet chain operated by Fresh Acquisitions, Old Country Buffet, exited the U.S. market this year. Despite being a former American strip mall staple, the chain deteriorated under its former operator. Although B.B. Key Holdings acquired the brand during bankruptcy proceedings, there are no plans to revive the buffet concept, signifying the end of Old Country Buffet. Poochie's Pizza. Once acclaimed as one of the best brick oven pizza chains, Poochie's Pizza filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy for the second time in 4 years. Citing macroeconomic conditions and persistent inflationary pressures, the pizzeria brand faced decreasing sales and rising prices. With operational losses of $14 million in 2022 and substantial debts, Poochie's Pizza encountered financial challenges exacerbated by the pandemic and inflation. Nestle Cafe. Following a decline in foot traffic and a prolonged lawsuit with its parent company, Nestle Cafe, previously owned by Crest Foods, was sold to restaurant operator Fat Brands in 2021. The new owner opted to restructure debt, discontinue the brand, and convert remaining locations into Great American Cookie stores. While around 70 locations persist, they are the last remnants of cafes once operated by Nestle Corporation. Clover Food Lab. The latest bankruptcy in the U.S. restaurant industry unfolded when Clover Food Lab sought court protection after closing down 20% of its locations. Operating as a vegetarian fast food chain based in Boston, Massachusetts, Clover Food Lab struggled to fulfill its vision of becoming the vegetarian Shake Shack. With only a few dozen stores left, Clover Food Lab faces the challenge of proving its business is worth saving to continue operating in the U.S. market. As the restaurant industry grapples with tight economic conditions, the increasing difficulty of survival underscores the need for businesses to demonstrate uniqueness and the potential for success in the face of evolving consumer preferences. The impending challenges in 2024 are expected to bring further shocks to the entire market.